Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, it's been a couple days since I've been on here, so it's actually good to be back in front of a camera, rocking the TSS shirt. There's a lot of things to get to in the boxing world, stuff that I've missed out on, so we're going to get to some real hot button topics as I go through these videos. But on a very serious note, I wanted to touch on this because this fighter right here was someone who was before my time, but still one of my dad's favorite fighters. My dad had a couple favorite fighters. Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, Duran. Those are a couple guys. But among some of his favorites was someone who passed away recently, and someone who I had a lot of respect for as a fighter. And that guy is none other than Aaron the Hawk Pryor. He passed away this past Sunday. What can we say about Aaron Pryor? The guy, was one of the most fierce competitors boxing ever saw. He fought. His two fights with Alexis Arguello are some of the greatest fights in the history of the sport. It was named Fight of the Decade. The first or the second one, I can't remember which one right now. And he was able to get a name like Arguello on his resume 2 times. Albeit somewhat controversial circumstances. There was the whole bottle incident, but regardless, as much as that pisses me out because I wanted to see it, I think it did help him beat Arguello the second time. But regardless, Aaron Pryor, definitely a great fighter. When you speak of some of the best American fighters of all time, I think he has to be on that list. You look at his amateur background, fighting and beating the likes of Tommy Hearns in the amateurs in 1976. He also fought Howard Davis Jr. A lot of people thought he got robbed in that fight. Fought Howard Davis Jr., Hilmer Kenty. If you guys don't know Hilmer Kenty, he was the first world champion from the Kronk Gym. Like I said, fights with Arguello. His name is linked to some of the best fighters of his time or in boxing history. For somewhat bad reasons. There was Sugar Ray Leonard and there was Roberto Duran who both offered him fights. In the case of Sugar Ray Leonard, because a lot of people will say, and Pryor even said himself, that Leonard ducked him, and I don't believe that to be the case. Obviously, I would have liked to see. I couldn't have seen it happen because it was before my time. But I'm saying it would have been cool if it would have happened. He turned down like 2 different offers from Sugar Ray. I believe one was for like $750,000, and the other one was for about $500,000. And this is back in the '80s, so that wasn't necessarily a good look for Pryor. I don't really know what the reasons were that he turned it down, or if he turned it down, maybe it was his management. But he also turned down another fight with Roberto Duran for like $750K in 1981. They would have fought the Garden. That would have been a huge fight. So obviously those are blemishes on his pretty outstanding career. But still, Aaron Pryor, a guy who defended his title 11 times, a guy who had some of the greatest fights of all time with Alexis Arguello, one of the most decorated amateurs in American boxing history. A guy that when you watched him fight, very few fighters before him or after him have ever been able to manifest that level of aggression in the ring, level of control of aggression. Because Aaron Pryor wasn't just some wild guy who threw a lot of shots, kind of like you see the Sean Porters of today who smother their shots and throw wild punches. He wasn't like that. He threw a lot of punches and he was very aggressive, but he was able to do that in a manner where it was very controlled and it was very effective. And when we speak about Aaron Pryor, we're speaking about one of the all-time greats in the sport, and we're just at a point where we're losing a lot of legends right now. And my heart goes out to his family, and he has a son who still fights, Aaron Pryor Jr. So yeah, man, Aaron Pryor. I just want to say rest in peace. One of the reasons my dad liked boxing is because of Aaron Pryor, and that's like someone for me who because my dad respects Aaron Pryor, I kind of gotta respect Aaron Pryor, because without my dad I wouldn't have became a boxing fan. He's the one who introduced me to boxing, so always have respect for the fighters my dad grew up liking. But yeah, man, just want to get this out there. Aaron Pryor passed away this past weekend. Boxing loses another legend, so rest in peace, Aaron Pryor. I actually I'm probably gonna do, because I have some film. If you guys have seen on the channel, I have a whole film study section. So I have a couple of videos that I'm working on, like one video I'm working on, and then I actually kind of want to do something on Aaron Pryor and Arguello in light of Aaron Pryor, who passed away, and Arguello passing away, years ago. So those guys, 2 of the best fighters ever, they're no longer here, and yeah, man, Aaron Pryor passed away. So nothing much more I can say, but him being a great fighter, And yeah, that's it, man. Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.